Utah just never gets old. So beautiful. Wow, I'm always blown away when I come to this state. Right now, I am in Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument, heading over to Capitol Reef National Park. This will be my last of the mighty five, the Utah national parks that are here in this state that I have yet to visit. I'm really excited. I'm spending a few days. I'm gonna do some hiking, some sightseeing, some scenic overlooks, and I'm gonna be taking you along as well. The Burr Trail is a scenic, partially paved road that goes from Boulder in the west to Bullfrog in the east. The trail was originally built by John Burr, a cattle rancher who needed to travel his herd across the Water Pocket Fold in the late 1800s. The rudimentary trail he built later became this road, giving us all access to explore the beauty of these national monuments and amazing Technicolor bentonite hillsides. This area was formed 50 to 70 million years ago and has some incredible geologic formations like sandstone arches, natural bridges, cliffs, and the area is also full of hikes, 4x4 drives for high clearance vehicles. And as the road continues, you'll drive down a series of switchbacks with incredible views. This road can become treacherous, muddy, and impassable at times when raining, so make sure to check the weather and be prepared. One of the really interesting things about the Burr Trail is that it's one of the only navigable channels through the Water Pocket Fold. This is actually a wrinkle in the Earth's crust. And if it wasn't for this narrow area, you wouldn't be able to really navigate this at all. And there's a bunch of different offshoots of roads that you can take off of this as well. One goes down to Lake Powell. You can also get to the visitor center from here, but it really just cuts across this lower section of Capitol Reef, and the views have just been absolutely stunning. It's a great way to kind of see this lower section of the park. There's a couple of hikes that you can do, as well as 2 really great backpacking trips off of this road as well. All right, gang, we are finally on our first hike here. Spent most of the morning in the car just driving along the Burr Trail. So beautiful. Finally out getting some fresh air. I'm basically back around by the visitor center now. That is Highway 24. Right below me, kind of the main drag through the park. This trail is just 1 mile. It's called the Hickmans Bridge Trail, and it takes you up to a natural bridge. It's pretty popular as well, so definitely expect to see probably the most amount of people that you'll see in Capitol Reef on these shorter trails adjacent to the visitor center. There it is, Hickmans Arch. Pretty nice view from here. This is a little loop trail that takes you around and right back down to where you began. What do you know? I was just down there looking at the natural bridge. Now we're up here. There's another trail on your way back to the parking lot if you're doing the bridge that actually goes to the canyon overlook. This is along the way where you can just look right through the arch from a different perspective. Pretty cool. All right, that was a fun little jaunt up to that natural bridge. Now I think it's time to head over to the visitor center, make sure I get my junior ranger badge, and then head out on one of the most popular scenic drives here in the park. Continuing past Hickmans Natural Bridge, I passed through the Fruda Historic District, and one of the first things that I found along the way was the petroglyph panel. This is a really short walk that takes you right up to the rock walls where Fremont people left their mark on the landscape. They lived in this area from around 300 to 1300, and if you look closely, you can see bighorn sheep, depictions of human-like shapes, and other geometric designs carved into the rock. The Fruda Historic District was also a Mormon settlement established in around 1880, and there are a few buildings that remain from those days that you can find in this area as well. You can visit the old schoolhouse and also see the orchards, which are still maintained by NPS staff. The visitor center is located right off Highway 24, and this is exactly where you'll want to stop first to grab maps of the park, any backcountry permits you need for backpacking or camping, and of course to grab some souvenirs before you head into the park. This whole area used to be a homestead by several Mormon families that lived here in the 1800s, and behind me is the Gifford House, which is a place where they actually still sell the harvest of a lot of the fruit trees that are here on the property, and you can get pies there. They have several different kinds, but if you wait until the end of the day, they're likely to be sold out. Scenic Drive is about 8 miles along the paved portion. This is also where you'll find the main campground for Capitol Reef National Park. There are actually a lot of places to camp if you're wanting like a primitive camping or backcountry, but the main places that have RV hookups, potable water, and all of that kind of stuff are here at the beginning of the Rim Drive. One thing you have to love about US national parks is just how accessible they are. I know that not everyone can get out and hike the trails or head out backpacking, and it's so great that so many of our national parks, especially here in the West, are made for everyone in mind. Just get in your car and drive, and you can see some amazing points of interest, overlooks, scenic vistas. You don't even have to get out of the car if you can't or you don't want to. And that's really one of the things that makes our national parks here in America so special, because it gives everybody, regardless of fitness level, age, or ability, the chance to get out and see these wildly beautiful landscapes. The views along this road are just getting better and better. It's pretty late in the day now, and the sun is just starting to get a little bit lower in the sky, which is giving us these really fantastic colors high up on the canyon walls. This is where the pavement ends and the dirt begins. Continuing down this road, you go through Capitol Gorge. This actually also goes through the Water Pocket Fold, that wrinkle in the earth's crust that I was talking about earlier. It's not too long, this section. It's one of the old wagon roads that they used back in the 1800s. Cattlemen, Native Americans before then used this area as well. So if you're up for a little bit more of an adventure, you can definitely check that out. All right, I am staying in Torrey, Utah tonight. This is just 10 miles west of the visitor center in Capitol Reef National Park, and I got a cute hotel room, 130 bucks for the night, and this is what you get for that. Nice little southwest feel and views. There is also a restaurant here at this hotel, and there are a couple of hotels here. I just walked up into this one and said, hey, do you have any rooms available? And they did. So even though the campground in the park was full, and it seems like it's actually quite busy in Moab and kind of Escalante down here in this region of southern Utah, had no problem finding a place to stay, and an affordable place at that. Okay, confession time, guys. Number one, I always jump on the bed. Number two, I actually just got off the phone with a friend of mine that had their entire identity stolen because they were using public Wi-Fi to check their account balance. And that's something that I have to do often. Something that I need to do tonight is pay a bunch of bills before I head to dinner. So there's a tool that I use every time I surf the web when I'm not at home. This video is brought to you in collaboration with Nord VPN. And if you travel like I do, they're basically your digital passport to staying safe online. Some of the things that I love about Nord VPN, and I've been using them for years, is not only that it encrypts my IP address, making it safe for me to browse in any country that I'm visiting, but I can also stream some of my favorite television shows when I'm outside the US by using an IP address that's in the US when I'm maybe in Africa or Europe, allowing me to watch Netflix and some of my other favorite TV shows while I'm abroad. And it also protects my passwords. It's not just a virtual private network. It's also all these other tools that you can use to make sure that your identity is protected wherever you roam. So if you travel often and you don't have a VPN, I highly recommend checking out NordVPN. Right now, you can get an exclusive discount at the link in the description or by scanning this QR code on screen. And you'll also get 4 free months right now. There's no risk. There's no contracts either. And you'll also get 30-day risk-free trial period where you can cancel at any time. So there's really nothing that should be holding you back. All right, I'm gonna pay some bills, then I'm gonna grab some dinner, and I will see you guys tomorrow. First stop this morning is to drive part of the Cathedral Valley Loop Trail. This is a dirt road that starts several miles east of the visitor center in Capitol Reef. It's actually on BLM land, but it will take you into a couple of sections of Capitol Reef high up in the top side of the park. Now, much of this road requires high clearance, but about the first half you can do if you have a two-wheel drive vehicle. So I'm in a Toyota RAV4 today. The lady at the visitor center said it was likely not enough clearance to do the river fjording, which is at the end of this loop. So she recommended that I just go and do kind of the first half and turn around and return. So the landscape that we are traveling through right now is wild. I've got to get out of the car here and show you a little bit. Wow, look at all those striations in the rocks. The sun is at my back here, so I apologize for the terrible lighting, but I just had to stop because this landscape is so incredible. This area of Utah used to be under the ocean, and you can see all those different layers of sediment in this landscape behind me. So many different colors from the millions of years of Earth's history that you can just come and look at here. It's pretty amazing. The water pocket fold formed when an ancient fault was reactivated during the Laramide orogeny, and driving through it is super unique. It's a monocline, meaning the rock layers have been folded in a single direction, with one side being pushed up and the other dropping down, forming one of the strangest landscapes I've ever seen. All right, we have made it to the Temple of the Sun and the Moon. The drive here was just spectacular. This huge landscape behind the camera is the Cathedral Valley. It is absolutely monstrous, and the colors are fantastic. So even if you only come this far to see the Temple of the Sun and the Moon, this drive is worth it. It will take you about half the day to get here, so make sure to plan accordingly. Also know that pretty much the entire park of Capitol Reef has no cell reception. So if you're coming here, make sure to plan all of your maps, download all the information that you need, and plan out your route before entering the park. The road goes right up to the bottom of these monuments, so there's no hiking required. You can just come and experience the majesty of these amazing landscapes. I've heard it's best to come here at sunrise, but because this is about an 1.5 to 2 hour drive from the town, you will have to leave incredibly early, especially in the spring when sunrise is around 6:15 in the morning. This isn't the only Temple of the Sun and the Moon. There's another one in Mexico that I actually visited several years ago. Now those ones were built by man, but these ones here are completely natural. They were named from the previous park superintendent when Capitol Reef became a park, and the towering monoliths rise hundreds of feet up into the air, made of Estrada sandstone, and deposited here around 160 million years ago. Wow, this is so cool. This is called Glass Mountain. It is this large outcropping, just completely made of what looks like mica. This might be quartz. I'm gonna look it up and double check for you because I don't know off the top of my head, but it is absolutely beautiful. After a quick Googling back home, I learned that the Glass Mountain is actually made of selenite or gypsum, not mica or quartz, which are both completely different types of rocks. And it was deposited here by seawater that evaporated around 165 million years ago. One of the other popular trails, not too far from the visitor center, is along the Grand Wash. And just as you may assume, this trail follows a riverbed, a dry riverbed, about 4.5 miles to do the whole thing. But one of the things that makes this really popular is that not only is it right off the road, but you can also choose to just do as much or as little as you want, choosing to meander for just a few mere minutes or a few hours. And there are lots of different habitat throughout this dry stream bed, also a really great spot to spot bighorn sheep. Now, hopefully it goes without saying that you should not try to do this hike if there is a storm incoming or if it's raining. The summertime is also monsoon season, so if you are visiting this park in the summertime, expect very high temperatures and also expect that places like this are potentially going to be hazardous or inaccessible. The Park Service also does close some of these trails from time to time to just protect people from themselves. The walls of this wash are made of sedimentary rock, so it is extremely porous. And over the years, as the water has come throttling through this channel, it has created all these different holes and indents within the walls. It's really fascinating to look at. There's some areas that you can even walk inside, different areas that are just totally smoothed out and rounded, like birds made little homes in here, but it's actually just from the forces of the water as it comes through this. For some of the best views of the park, you'll want to come and check out Panorama Point. Then you'll drive the goosenecks and you'll wind up at one of the best places for sunset watching. This is Sunset Point, one of the most accessible and best places to watch the sunset here in Capitol Reef. And this is where I'm ending this video as well. This has been such a great short adventure. I've only had about one night to experience Capitol Reef. And if you're a hiking enthusiast and you want to do some of the really epic hikes here, there are slot canyons, wet and dry. There are places to go canyoneering. There are backpacking routes. And there are so many other beautiful places that I didn't have time to explore here. I would definitely recommend spending 3 or 4 full days here if you want to get a full taste of some of these hikes that you can do in the area. But if you just want to see some of the highlights, some of the scenic drives, 1 or 2 days should suffice. I'll be dropping details in a blog post, which you can check out at the link in the description, as well as sharing some of my other favorite national parks you can check out on the blog too. And if you guys want to know any of the gear that I bring on these adventures, you can scan this QR code on the screen right now. I'll see you guys in the next adventure. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. As always, I'm Alice Ford. Never stop exploring.